Welcome in to Westlake High School for Lone Peak basketball on the Rewind Sports Network as the Lone Peak Knights continue on Region 4 play, heading west to take on the Westlake Thunder. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dane Stewart. Please be joined by Hector Marquez. Hector, Lone Peak coming in 8-8, 2-2. Westlake, tough year for them. This is two teams that have been really strong over the course of the last couple years, fighting for RPI positioning here on the back half of the first round of region play.
Yeah, I think that the difference is that you have a Westlake team that's very young. They're learning as they go. And you got a Lone Peak team that's had a few players with experience. Lone Peak just has a big size advantage right now in Westlake. That's going to be tough for them today. But just moving forward, positioning is going to be the key. I mean, you just don't want to be seated with some of those teams that can give you trouble. And although Lone Peak has the roster that can give you trouble, it's just better to avoid that tough matchup early.
We're talking with Coach Ross, is that I like where our program is heading. We're still trying to find themselves, coming in 8-8, 2-2 in region play. But look, you talk about experience and length. You got a young man in Chamberlain Burgess who's been fantastic this year, 17 points per game, I think 8 or 9 rebounds per game. The junior's been great. Then you factor that in with some of the shooting they have. Thompson Kramer, this young man's been on a tear for Lone Peak this year.
I remember the first time I saw Tom Kramer over at at Pleasant Grove for the Hoop Fest, and I had every scout, who the heck's this kid, who the heck's this kid? And everybody knows who he is now.
Yeah.
He's just been stellar on the ball. He moves well off the ball, and he's got a little bit of size, and that definitely bothers those little guards because he's got a good game in the post, and he's got the quick first step that allows him to get to the basket. So, yeah, Chamberlain's been awesome. Logan Belcher's going to be a load. They're just solid all around. I can see why Coach Ross is liking where their team is going.
Yeah, the trajectory's good. We'll see if that can carry through the back half of region play. Meanwhile, for Westlake, this is a team that Coach Carling's done such a good job making it one of the most competitive programs in 6A. Been a tough year for Westlake. 4-13, 0-4 overall. But Hector, they have 8 games this year that have been 2-possession games. They're 1-7. They've been in a lot of games. They just haven't been able to fish them out late. Jace Adams, the young man, has been fantastic. Simon Sua, the junior, this kid is electric. And they got a big kid in Beckham Featherstone. Graydon Anderson. There's a lot of talent for this Westlake group.
Yeah, and they're young, but they play hard. I mean, they have nothing to lose. They're playing with house money, and I'm assuming they're going to give Lone Peak their best shot here.
This is Simon Sua with it. Westlake in the home whites, Lone Peak in the road blacks. As we are underway, the last first-time meeting between Region 3 foes here between Lone Peak and Westlake, and that's a nice little turnaround hit early on from Jace Adams.
Yeah, Jace has been on a tear. He's kind of making himself known for sure out there.
Oh, nice move by Chamberlain, just left it short.
Chamberlain's got to finish those.
Hadfield kicking out 3 from Sua, just off the mark. Featherstone keeping it here. Nice little turnaround from Sua. Boy, good start here for Westlake at home.
I've had the opportunity to watch Simon play a little bit, and he is fast. And electric, I think, is the right way to describe him. He could get going in a hurry.
And he can find that outside shot, too. He can be a very versatile player in an offense. Here's Burgess. He'll take a little 17-footer. Chamberlain with a nice pull-up.
That's the one thing that Chamberlain has really added to his game is that perimeter shooting. He's got a great touch now to go along with that height.
Yep. Featherstone handing to Sua. Boy, that's a nice finish in traffic for Simon Sua.
Westlake is usually known to have a bunch of seniors on the roster, and this year they just got to go with the youngsters.
Kramer just left that one at the rim. Suma other end defended, blocked by Burgess. That's the element when he plays down low. It really completes this Lone Peak lineup.
It does. His ability to roam a little bit is just the game changer.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying he's not the type of player that's going to get stuck on the blocks.
Yeah.
He can go to that free throw line. He could go outside to the short corner, trail threes, pop threes. He's really expanded his game.
Well, the thing is, when he plays with confidence and he hits that shot early, now you have to defend the entire half court against him. You saw him get a little bit of space from 15 and hit it. Good start here for Chamberlain on the road.
And when he's the biggest kid on the floor, I mean, you got to give him those touches as well.
So that's a tough jumper from the free throw line. Kept here. Hadfield working out. Kyler now looking to drive, and we're going to have a foul. It's going to be called, I believe, on the body contact of Burgess. And indeed is the call, his first.
And that's the one thing that Westlake poses as a difficulty for teams is they're pretty much all guards, right?
Yeah.
And so what's going to give? They're going to put you out on the perimeter. They're going to do some matchup mismatches. And
boy, and this is a away from the ball foul called on Hadfield. So Westlake turning it over on the inbound play.
It looks like he just tried to plow Kramer. And I think Kramer's a soccer player too, so that could have been a flop. I don't know.
No, come on.
We got to look at the tape.
Well,
soccer players don't flop, right? I mean,
no.
They would never do that.
Just need some magic spray over on the bench in case something happens. Burgess being defended here by Harris and walked with it.
I think he had the right move, but he did get dislodged, which made that pivot foot drag. I think he's probably saying, we'll just call the foul then. If it was that easy, right?
Yeah. There's Adams. Back to Sua. He's got a little bit of space there. Won't go. Rebound here by Taylor. Back to Jackson. Really good shooter. That one, his momentum kind of carried him away. Kept here. Burgess from the junction. Chamberlain looks locked in.
Burgess got that jumper going early here. That could be trouble.
Well, only if you're a Thunder fan.
That's true. Hey, it's tied, 6-6.
Yeah, and an offensive foul. Illegal screen set here by Will Harris. Will turn it over again.
We've got a pretty good crew out there calling this game. Trying to clean things up early here.
In this region and in this rivalry, I mean, I've called a lot of Lone Peak Westlake games. You got to track it very early. Let them know kind of how you're going to let the game flow go. As a corner three here on the way, just won't go. Tracked down there by Suarez.
Westlake has definitely been known to be one of the more physical teams in the state. Kramer nails that three.
Yeah, Thompson with his first field goal. You'd call Westlake one of the more physical teams in the state?
Carling just has that brand of basketball where, you know, their kids are going to set good hard screens and they're going to do whatever it takes to stop you and score. So yeah, I would say that Westlake is one of the more physical teams in the state for sure.
I think they are certainly a very deliberate team. You talk about Carlin, I mean, he gets every ounce out of his teams. Always very tough, very gritty. Burgess finding his way to the rim, and the contact here called underneath on Hadfield. That's going to be the second here on Kyler Hadfield.
And this is where it could get tricky for Westlake if they have to go deep into the bench to cover, you know, the Lone Peak bigs.
Burgess just short on the first. Talk about Hadfield with that foul having to come off. It'll be Satchel Hepworth checking in here for Westlake. One more here for Burgess. Splits the pair. First free throw make of the night. How about 7 early points for Chamberlain?
It's a great start for him. I like how he's mixing things up. He's got that jumper. You got to come out on him, and then he takes you to the rim.
Young man has an offer from Utah State. Hey, that's how Aggies do it right there. Big swat from Chamberlain Burgess.
I guarantee you that other Utah teams are going to get involved with this kid as he develops.
Our clock, we have just a little technical issue. There's 2:58 left, so we're just letting ours run down to catch up. Our clock, not the official clock here in the stadium, so we do our best to keep that as synchronized as we can. Yeah, and Chamberlain just a junior.
I think he's just starting to kind of hit that next level in his game.
Graydon Anderson betrayed by the home rims. The sophomore couldn't get that to go. Tough drive from Kramer, out of bounds. I agree, and I think when Chamberlain is locked in, he's one of the more difficult defensive matchups because of his length and because of his range and his athleticism, right? It can be a really deadly combination when it's dialed in.
And the one thing that he's done a lot better is being able to stay on the floor. Earlier this year, he's picked up a few fouls that were unnecessary, but I think his value out on the floor just changes that Lone Peak team for sure.
And that's where, sometimes you get some of those fouls trying to be overly aggressive and maybe not recognizing situation. That's where when you can dial that in and understand when to push the right buttons, right, that's where you become complete as a player and where your value is really maximized for your team.
And I get it. He's 6'9", 6'10", trying to block shots, help his team.
As that three won't go, Chamberlain trying to keep it here, but even that last possession is a great example. He's coming over on the help. Realize how hard to push there. Don't overextend yourself. Put yourself in a bad defensive position. How about Graydon Anderson? First three for Westlake and a needed one for the Thunder.
Anderson could get going as well. Him and Sua, really good combo of guards. Chamberlain missed his cutter there.
And feet getting mixed up here. The foul call, and I think this is going to be on Harris, and that will be his second. So two personals now on Hatfield and on Harris for Westlake.
I think Carling's trying to work the officials here.
Does he do that?
I would.
All coaches do.
Hey, he's too big. Just let us hit him.
Coach Carling just off your screen there, but he is doing a nice job of mimicking. Has very great recall there. Was walking the official. This is what happened. Doesn't change the call. 2 for 2 on the line there for Burgess.
Is that 9 for Burgess now?
Yes, it is.
It's a great first quarter for him. Look for Taylor to get going here.
Yeah.
Actually, they just subbed him out, so he can't get going right now.
Well, he'll get going to the bench on the substitution.
Yeah, he's gonna think about how he's gonna hit a three when he gets back in the game.
Burgess with the board. Looking for the outlet. And this will be Anderson called here on the foul. And we're in the bonus here, so Lone Peak heading to the free throw line. They'll have 2 free throws for the remainder of the contest, or the remainder of this first quarter.
I like what Haskett brings to this Lone Peak team off the bench. He's got a little bit of size. He plays physical. Attacks the rim, plays defense. It looks like he's favoring that left hand a little bit there. He's got it taped up.
Burgess here going to come off the floor in favor of a youngster. Drew Fotheringham, the freshman, getting minutes in this first quarter for Lone Peak tonight.
I love it when teams put those freshmen in. Get your feet under you of the speed of the varsity level. Learn the physicality.
I was talking with Coach Ross before the game. He said, you see that kid right there? He has the opportunity to be a big-time player when it's all said and done. He said tonight, you'll probably see him on the floor. He didn't wait long. First quarter, the freshman on the floor. Of course, younger brother of Luke Fotheringham.
And it looks like they might use him a lot today.
Sua.
They're a little short-handed with,
Speaking of short-handed, no one picked up Enoch Mitchell, another youngster, the junior, with the take.
Lone Peak has Ike Staley out for the day. It looks like Ty Cogswell's out for the day, so I expect Crew to get some great minutes today.
Number 44, Logan Deltry is first, team foul number 2. And for the Thunder, number 0, Alex Vico.
Just over 30 seconds left. We've got a late substitution here.
It's funny when Westlake subs in, they're all around the same height, but it's the Lone Peak guys that are kind of scrambling, trying to match up because, I mean, like, they're all guards.
Yeah. The shot clock turned off here for this final 30 seconds of the first quarter. Rebounded by Belcher. Kramer on the drive. That's good defense there by Anderson. Really took away any space. And then a loose ball foul here.
Belcher, second, team foul number 3.
Second on Belcher.
Westlake looking to get it in here. There we go.
Here's Anderson. Oh, miscommunication. Westlake turning it over with 3 seconds to go. It's Lone Peak basketball.
I think on that one play that he should have just gone back door. Maybe he would have got there, but it would have just opened up a little bit of space for them here with the clock running down.
So now Lone Peak has an opportunity to put some more points on the board here. 16-11. Kramer gets it across. The shot, that's going to be short, and that'll do it. First quarter in the books. A strong start from Chamberlain Burgess as Lone Peak with a 16-11 lead over Westlake. You're watching Lone Peak basketball on the Rewind Sports Network.
Every day we have a choice to sit and wait or get up and go. How do you get up and go?
Getting ready to start our second quarter. 5-point lead for Lone Peak.
I like this lineup that Lone Peak has in here.
Burgess for 3. Just off the mark. Rebounded there by Adams. It's the starters with one exception. Instead of Belcher, it is the freshman Crew Fotheringham. As that's Jace Adams with the baseline J.
Jace has a good little game. He's got a good little bag there.
Here's the thing, you've got 3 scorers for Westlake that all average 15 or more. Hadfield just outside of that trio with 9 a game coming into this one. Had it on the run out. This is Anderson.
He almost got taken out by the ref there.
Yeah.
It's an illegal screen.
Oh, the patience. Count the bucket.
It's a great pump fake because Anderson showed Chamberlain the ball, and that's what got him to jump. Chamberlain's got to realize that he's 6'10", and he could wait till he shoots it to go get that block, but Anderson with a great move.
And that's the second on Chamberlain. So we talk about, fouls sometimes get caught. He's on the floor here, staying on. There's that 3-point play converted there by Anderson. This is where Chamberlain really can't pick up number 3.
Hey,
we'll pick up a dunk. Nice find. Chamberlain to the rim and finish. He's in double digits.
Great move. Kramer, dump down.
Nice move. Was that Adams?
That was Adams.
You see the tempo, the pace picking up here. Chamberlain working the block. Turn around. That's stripped away. Kept. Set it up, but just ran out of room. Here's Sua. Just kept that pivot.
On paper and in the standings, you'd think Westlake would be getting blown out right now. We got a tie ball game. Student section is into it.
High off the glass, the foul called. And this will go on Kramer, his first. They've done a great job of staying in this game because the way Lone Peak came out, it felt like, oh boy. And Westlake has kind of gritted through it. Tie ball game, they take the lead here.
And that's where Coach Carlin, his experience really comes in handy, whether it's a timeout or at the quarter. Just like, hey, relax, guys. We're in this game. It's a 2-possession game, 1-possession game, and they've actually taken the lead now.
Yeah, and our apologies. We missed that last bucket by Adams, and so he goes 2 for 2 there. It is a 20-18 advantage here for the Thunder.
Westlake with the half-court trap, but they drop back into that man.
Here's Taylor. Jackson, quick catch and shoot, rattles out. And cleared by Anderson.
They've been defending Taylor pretty well. That's the first look he's had.
And even that, it had to be super quick.
It was. He's actually good at that quick shot.
He is.
Speaking of, ooh.
All three just short on the look there for Adams. Other end, Sua with the block.
I like what Sua did there defensively. He didn't commit to jumping and contesting. He was just kind of tracking that ball, and he was able to get it with his offhand. Good defensive stop there from Sua.
Belcher back on the floor here for Lone Peak. Burgess, boy, he likes that little roll, doesn't he? And you see him work off of that with a little right-handed finish.
When he's that far into the paint, it's just tough, whether he spins or not.
That's a tough reverse. You see the length of Chamberlain disrupting that. Oh, and a traveling violation on the break. Haskett turning it over. Substitution for Lone Peak. Austin Simon checking in here.
Austin Simon in for Lone Peak.
There is no shortage of colors of the rainbow in the footwear of this Lone Peak squad, huh?
All over the state. I mean, I remember playing and my coach said you wear white shoes, period, or you ain't playing.
Those days are behind us.
Yeah.
And speaking of behind, that whole Lone Peak D got behind Malik Sika on the take. Inside, oh, nice response there from Simon. His first points.
Brought to you by number 2, Simon.
The coach I played for in high school wouldn't even allow us to wear black socks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's a different era.
It is.
Here's Kramer. Burgess with some space. That's just off the mark. Cleared by Adams. Inside of 4 to go in this first half.
Ooh, got away with him.
Yeah, I was going to say a little bit of contact there, but followed up by Hatfield.
If you look at Westlake's offense, they're actually doing something really well. They know that Lone Peak's a little bit bigger, so they're pulling them out. They're either going out to a 5-out set, or they're putting someone in the short corner where they can pop.
Well, and they're banking on that help coming over, right? So bring guys on the backside to get second chance opportunities. That 3 from Taylor just strong.
Good box out.
Kramer has a little lane.
And
count it. Boy, great recognition there by Tom.
It was. It kind of opened up a little bit. It's kind of what Westlake's trying to do to them. I think on the other end, if you watch Westlake, they just have to identify who the help guy is. And if that's the person they want there, are they going to be able to beat him on the help? Or is he going to beat them and they're going to kick it out? Yeah, both teams doing a good job. On both ends, trying to exploit the other team's defense here.
3-point play there for Kramer. He's got 6 tonight.
Everybody out in the perimeter, making some cuts, back screens.
Here's Adams with the long 3. Kept here by Sua.
Good move.
Well, that defense trying to keep it in, but they can't. They'll stay here with the Thunder.
I know it's hard to believe that a team that is so much taller than the team you're playing against can give up rebounds, but it's just hard to box out those little guys sometimes.
Timeout. Westlake will take it with them. Lone Peak nursing a 1-point lead here late in the first half. Welcome back here to Westlake.
As I'm watching both of these teams play, they're both dangerous.
Yeah.
And I think at the beginning of the year, everybody thought it was a 2-horse race between American Fork and Corner Canyon, and things have just changed in 6A. Everyone's beatable.
Well, and I think Layton is really good, and yet they play a lot of close games. And even when we talk about this Westlake team, it's the note that as I was preparing for this game, I was kind of stunned by. In 2-possession games, 1 and 7. They're in all these games. It's just finding a way to close it out late.
And then that goes with kind of like the inexperience. They have a lot of new guys in, and obviously the lack of height sometimes, maybe being able to contest with the bigs as
Sua.
Big time 3 right there.
Yeah, his first 3 of the night. Confidently took that. Kramer with the answer. Nice take there for Tom. 9 for Kramer tonight.
But yeah, I've had the opportunity. Ooh.
We got a little 3-point contest going on here.
We might need to call a timeout and Coach Ross will be like, are we going to guard this kid?
And an offensive foul called on Belcher. I think that's his 3rd. It is.
I dare Simon to shoot another one. Heat check.
Calling for that?
Carlin's not going to sub you out. Come on.
Are you going to tell that to Nate?
I'm not going to tell him that, but it's going to take him a while to get up here too. But I'm going for the heat check.
All right.
I hope his teammates find him.
1:55 to go here. Our clock got a little ahead, so we're just pausing ours. Oh, good D. Knocks it out, kept here.
If they would have gave it to Sua, he would have hit the 3 and they would have been playing defense. You got to keep it simple.
They were trying to get it there, just didn't have enough time. Anderson coming to the table here.
Lone Peak all over Sue on that one.
Here's Anderson. Off the screen from Featherstone. Good pull. That kid's going to be good. I mean, he already is good, but just a sophomore.
Yeah, he's got a nice little game.
Oh, Burgess. You could kind of tell early he felt like this could be a big game for him. His first 3 from the floor.
Yeah, he was. I think he banked that one in because he had to shoot it so high over Burgess, but yeah, Burgess was locked in early. See if they could get him going again here.
Burgess trying to work here against Featherstone.
Jab spin move.
Oh boy. And a traveling violation. I was curious if they were going to call that contact. Boy, they let a lot go there. They do call the traveling violation. Lone Peak turning it over.
It was the right call. Once again, he kind of got dislodged with the contact, and that's why he's, it does get a little frustrating. But
you don't think enough contact there for a foul?
I mean, you kind of want to let him play because Chamberlain is actually initiating the contact there, right?
Yep.
And so you got to give the defense a little bit of leeway there.
Another block for Chamberlain, but he goes down immediately.
He's all right.
Yeah. He grabbed his right foot. You could see him yell. You couldn't hear it, but he is running that off and trying to stand on the floor here for Lone Peak.
Nobody at the table for him. He'll be okay.
It's final 23 seconds of the half, 15 on the shot clock. There's Kramer. They got 10.
I mean, the way that Chamberlain and Kramer are playing, you'd think Lone Peak would be up big right now, but Westlake is kind of going by committee. A little bit of Anderson, a little bit of Sua, Adams. They're just kind of getting it from everywhere, and it makes sense why they have so many players scoring, a pretty decent average this year.
Now, the big thing about that, it resets the shot clock. Under 35, it's turned off. 5 seconds to go here in the half. Burgess, the 3, that's short. Rebounded by Sua. He'll heave it, and that's off mark, and that will do it. Good second quarter for the Thunder. They'll take a 3-point lead into the locker room at the break. You're watching Lone Peak basketball on the Rewind Sports Network. Welcome back. start of the second half. Dane Stewart, Hector Marquez with you, 34-31. Westlake leading Lone Peak. The Thunder looking for their first win in region play. Hector, we look at the first half. Great start for Chamberlain Burgess, 16 points to lead all scorers tonight, 9 from Kramer. But for Westlake, what a second quarter. It was a 23-15 second quarter. It was Jace Adams who really helped the Thunder come back and take a lead, and they'll have the ball to start here this second half. What are you looking for from Westlake here in the second half if they want to get their first region win this year?
They just got to keep that movement, spread Lone Peak out, share the basketball. Don't force things there. But that movement has really made Lone Peak move all over the floor and not being able to help. And that's why they're getting some paint touches, a few inside-outside opportunities. I think that's what Westlake has to do consistently. They haven't let Jackson get loose. That's a good idea.
From Haskell, you could tell that was short immediately.
But yeah, Westlake's got a good little team here. They got like 27 guards on the roster, maybe 28. I can't count down there.
Well, I do see one forward and one center. So, in fairness, but look, it was a good first half for Westlake. You're talking about they trailed by 5 at the end of the first. 12 points for Simon Sua, who's been great for the Thunder. 10 for Jace Adams, with 8 of them coming in that second quarter. Anderson with 8. They've been the lion's share of the scorers for Westlake tonight. Can that trio come up with enough to get a win here at home? As Kramer on the block will send to Taylor.
Good relocation.
It just hasn't been their night for Jackson yet.
I think Westlake has it in them to pull this one out.
Boy, good take, Hatfield. In case you missed it, Chamberlain kind of tweaked his foot late in that first half. He came out, he was trying to stretch it, and I actually like that idea of, hey, if you're not certain if he's healthy, go right at him and see if you can get an advantage. Hatfield was able to win that one.
Yeah, that would be a tough blow if he's not 100% there.
It'd be huge, especially with the way he started.
Yeah, I'd like to see Lone Peak do a little high-low with him. Maybe Belcher and Burgess to get him an easy touch.
Intercepted by Sua.
Yep, great timeout, Coach Ross. They got to settle down a little bit here. But Westlake not pumping the brakes. They're going to go full throttle here and see if they can extend that lead.
And you talk about how physical they are. That physicality made that basketball come out quickly from Burgess, leads to the steal, and the finish from Sua, who's up to 14.
Yep. And even on that take where Burgess was defending, Hatfield, put his head down, plowed into Burgess, got that finish. I mean, could have easily been an and one. But yeah, Westlake's physical.
And going back, because there was a play in that first half where, remember, Burgess was the initiator of that contact inside, and I asked you, is that too much? You said, no, you got to let him play a little bit. They let him play in the first half. They're letting him play here in the second half. And to your point, if Westlake is more physical, that might favor the home side.
It will, and having those physical guards not afraid to go into those bigs, they just have a little bit more skill. They can move a little bit more laterally. I'm curious to see what Lone Peak does here. Do they go to a zone and let Chamberlain stay in the middle and not roam so much?
How would you counter that? Is that, on the offensive end, right? If they're going to get right up in you and defend that, is that quicker ball movement, quicker movement without the basketball?
I would go Belcher down screen for Burgess. Burgess gets a high post touch, dump it down for a duck into Belcher, get an easy 2, and get things going.
The take there by Kramer. We're working off of that Belcher screen, drawing the contact. That'll be the second team foul on Westlake here in this third quarter, and the second on Featherstone.
And if you haven't seen Belcher play before, that kid is physical. So I'd like them to go to their most physical guy, like Belcher or Kramer, right now to cut into this lead and maybe get their confidence up again.
And that foul on Anderson. So just like that, we're 2 minutes into this third quarter. 3 team fouls on Westlake already.
It looks like they're trying to, Taylor open. Bucket.
Needed that one. Lone Peak needed it, and Jackson needed that. You see that ball go through the bottom of the net, and now there's some confidence for your best shooter.
And it looked good right away.
Yes,
he
it did.
set his feet. He got that wide stance, let it fly, lined it up, gets a steal.
Looking up the floor, Haskett.
Taylor, open.
This is like the Lone Peak team that started the game, right? Very decisive, quick, and we've got a whistle here. I think a clock issue, maybe.
Reset on the shot clock.
That kind of saved Westlake there.
Yes, it did.
They were in trouble. No home cooking at all.
I haven't had home cooking once this week, Hector. I could use some home cooking.
Oh man, I had some good home cooking. My wife made some chicken pad thai the other day. It was fantastic.
Nice. In the corner, Sua. Boy, we talked about his versatility. It's been on display tonight.
It's kind of like a backbreaker, right? You get something going, you leave the wrong guy open in the corner, and he makes you pay.
Here's Kramer. Burgess defended by Featherstone, going right at him.
Good move. Way to play through the pain.
And we actually talked about Westlake bringing the physicality and trying to attack Burgess, testing that foot. So many players in approaching foul territory for Westlake. Go right at them, right? See if you can get him 3-4 personals. Here's Sua from the corner again. Won't go.
I agree with you on that. I mean, you got to be physical.
Oh, Featherstone with the steal.
Belcher should have gone up that first time, but
here's Anderson. No.
oh boy.
Trouble.
Here we go.
Kramer gathers and finishes. 1 point ball game. Oh, and Belcher took one up high here.
Is he bleeding?
I think he's okay. Oh, no, he is.
He's bleeding.
Never mind.
I think they're going to rub some dirt on it and throw him back in.
Is he a soccer player? Magic spray. We got any? Someone. He looks to be okay. Took a cut right above the eye, and he was like, I'm fine, I'm fine. They'll get the bleeding attended to. And
Fotheringham replaces him here.
Anderson trying to drive on. Yeah.
See, like even Anderson there, he's a little guy out there, but he goes into the defender using that physicality, and then Taylor responds, and then he gets called for the foul. So Westlake knows what they're doing when it comes to physicality.
Knowing when to initiate and by how much, and just leaving that hook out there, right? Sua working to the rim.
Sua starting to rack them up there.
Yep. Unofficial with 19 for Simon tonight. Wow. And there's another steal for Sua.
Pull it.
Oh, I thought he was going to. That might have been the heat check you were looking for in that first half.
His teammates didn't pass him the ball.
Here's Hadfield off the window.
Hadfield might not have a ton of points on the scoring sheet, but he's doing a great job boxing out, whether he gets the rebound or not, and defending.
Chamberlain with his second made three tonight. Back to a one-possession game. Into the teeth of that D to Featherstone.
Travel.
Yep. Substitution for Westlake. Hepworth checking back in for the Thunder.
And that makes Burgess really valuable. Even though he didn't jump, just his presence alone kind of makes you think twice about going up.
They'll bring Hadfield back over to defend Chamberlain. That's been a good matchup for Hadfield tonight. He's played very well defensively against Chamberlain. Tried to make it as uncomfortable as possible on a night where Chamberlain's felt and shot very confidently. Yeah, gave that baseline. Westlake with the block, other end, and it will stay here.
I love that they didn't call that foul, because there could have been a foul over on the other end there.
Yep.
Let them play a little bit.
And that's where, for me, and it's what makes officiating so hard, right, is that consistency on both ends amongst the team of officials. And I agree, that was a great job. Sua again.
Sua is balling right now.
That three from Taylor won't go. Finding it again. Step back for Chamberlain. Nope. Ask it there. Just missed the putback.
And kind of going back to that official thing, and sometimes it's hard because the crew is different, and they're all looking for different things. So when they're all on the same page, it works well.
Yep.
Every once in a while, you get one official not wanting to call it physicality and the other one wanting to call it. So it's been a great crew today.
Yeah, I don't think we've had that at all. I think they've been very consistent, been locked in. I think we've had very good officiating across the floor. See if that maintains for the final 10. One more here for Haskett. He missed his first. What makes the second? 2 to go here in the third. Sua. Help coming over. Little fadeaway for Simon Sua.
Simon Sua is balling.
Nice take, Mitchell. His second field goal tonight. Right now we're playing Simon Says. Burgess called for his third.
Yeah, Simon Says, pass me the ball, and I will score.
It'll be Sika here heading to the line. 11 points in the third quarter for Sua, 23 in the game.
That's impressive.
First free throw there from Sika off the mark. And Sua going to come off the floor here.
Come on, coach. I'm hot. Leave me in. No, he deserves that break.
I don't disagree on either point. It's like, oh man, you hate to take him off, but you also know you're going to need him in the fourth.
I think it'll give Anderson a chance to get loose.
That three was long. Suarez, offensive board. Kicks out. Quick three from Fotheringham, just short.
Great box out.
Here's Anderson. Final minute of the third quarter. Graydon working on Mitchell. Count it.
I told you, Anderson. So the one thing that Westlake teaches their guards is that roll attack. So they'll attack the rim, jump stop, and then roll you and kind of seal you. I mean, they've done that for years. I remember, Dylan Jones playing over at Snow. Now, you run him off the line, and he would do that a lot.
Boy, scrappiness, the tie up there. We'll keep it here with the Thunder.
Anderson's going to jack a three here, watch.
They're looking for it.
Good move.
He'll drive, denied. Suarez with the block.
Lumpy needs a bucket here.
Kramer, little step back. Wide. Kept here by Mitchell. That paint open. Kramer trying to utilize it. Off the window, score it.
I think Kramer wanted a foul there.
I'm surprised the paint was that wide open.
It was. Great back and forth here.
Yeah. 2-possession game, 20 seconds left in the third. Mitchell defending Anderson.
Expect a high ball screen.
Clock down to 7. Hatfield trying to work baseline.
Out of bounds, for the Thunder.
Stay here. We're going to bring Sua back on.
They had Sua for a second.
Yeah, it was a good move. Anderson, there's your three. Just off the mark, that'll do it. 75% of the way through. 52-48. Westlake leading Lone Peak. Fourth quarter coming up next here on the Rewind Sports Network. Start of the fourth quarter. 4-point ball game. 52-48. Westlake out in front. Lone Peak basketball. Burgess not on the floor to start this fourth quarter. Overworking on that foot, trying to get it loose so he can get back on the floor here. Where do you go if you're Lone Peak with Chamberlain not on here, Hector?
You got to go to Kramer and see if Kramer can create for somebody else on the floor. It looks like Taylor's not out on the floor.
He's not. That one given up. Sua with the steal and the finish. 25 for Simon Sua. Taylor heading to the table for the Knights.
Yeah, I'd like them to send a screener out to Kramer. That way they can pull more people out of the paint so he can go to work.
Anderson on the drive. Count the bucket. And the foul. Graydon Anderson back here to the free throw line.
I thought he was going to flex on him over there in that baseline.
Well, that would have been a technical. So we got another timeout being taken here. Lone Peak taking the timeout. Westlake will be at the line when we come back. Welcome back. We talked about Region 3, how good this region is. Here are your region standings coming into action tonight. Lehigh, American Forks, Skyridge all at 3-1 in region play. Lone Peak at 2-2. PG 1-3. Westlake 0-4. We talk about the importance of the RPI, obviously determining state playoffs, but you list all those teams. There's no nights off if you play in this region, as Fotheringham gets the rebound there on the missed free throw.
There is no nights off.
Ball on the floor. Look at the hustle. Kept here. Burgess back on the floor, drawing the contact there.
With this lineup, I have Kramer run the point, have Burgess set a ball screen, and put Jackson where the help guy is going to be. So you make the help guy make a decision. Do I help over on the drive? Do I help over on the roll? Or do I let my guy shoot, you know?
Getting the floor cleared up here. Kramer working to Taylor.
Yep.
Sua called here, I believe, for his third. No, his fourth. Woo.
That's tough. It's like, do you sub him? Yep, it looks like they're going
have to. But they're late.
Go at him. If you're Sua, you let your guy score.
And he's defending Taylor. Kramer slicing through.
Ooh, friendly roll.
Yeah, just gets that bounce off the rim.
2-possession game here.
17 for Kramer tonight. There's Sua. Adams, that three off the mark. Taylor has help.
He wanted that pull that one.
Yeah. Got an open guy. There he is. That shot just short. Burgess keeping it alive, trying to.
Yep.
And Anderson, I believe, going to be called here for the personal. And if so, that'll be, I believe, his third.
I like it when kids foul somebody and they own it. Sometimes they're complaining about how, I didn't touch him.
And just a false alarm, just the second there on Graydon. You're just seeing if you're paying attention at home. Burgess for that double team,
Tough.
getting through it.
Burgess needs a few more touches to get Lone Peak back in it.
Corner three, Mitchell Hepworth with his first bucket tonight. It's a triple.
That was a great sub to pull Sua out.
Burgess answer won't go.
Oh, lined it up.
Taylor.
It up.
And we've got a loose ball foul here.
Chamberlain drew that foul there on a box out.
I'm not going to lie, that Taylor three, I thought it looked like it was good.
It did look
it was
good
long.
too. He was kind of right in our angle here.
He'll inbound.
I guess the question for Westlake is going to be, how long do you keep Sua out? With about 5 minutes to go.
What do you do, Hector?
I put him back in at 4 minutes.
Here's Anderson. He gives it to Hatfield. And we got 5 to go.
Lone Peak in a 2-3.
.12 on the shot clock. Adams. 3 on the shot clock. Anderson the drive. Burgess with the block.
Oh.
Kept by Kramer. Burgess has what, 3-4 blocks tonight?
At least, yeah.
Taylor.
There it is.
Jackson Taylor hits the 3, and it's a 2-point ball game with 4:20 to go in regulation.
I don't think you saw that, but Carling and Coach Ross both called timeout at the same time. And Carling pointed at Coach Ross and said, no, he
was first.
He called it.
Who they credited to, Hector?
They gave it to Coach Ross, and they both laughed at each other.
All
It was
right.
kind of funny.
Timeout. We'll be back. Welcome back. Hector up here. He's my eagle eyes. And look, we know Coach Carling is nothing if he's not charitable. Allowing Coach Ross to take that timeout. Super generous of Coach Carling.
He's just a nice guy.
He is. He really is. I love Nate. But just the story you told before we went to break, they're both taking it, and Coach's like, no, he called it first. That's awesome. I love that. That's good. All right, Westlake basketball. Sua back on the floor here. Playing with 4 personal fouls on what's been a big night. 25 tonight for Simon.
The thing that Sua just has to be careful with is don't pick up an offensive foul.
And they give this near half court. Boy, aggressive there from Enoch Mitchell. Picking up the foul, the second.
Good idea. They just couldn't cut him off.
The other thing worth noting, team fouls. 2 team fouls on Lone Peak, 4 on Westlake. So no fouls to give for the Thunder. Any foul from here on out, Lone Peak goes to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Lone Peak back in that man.
Adams
as
off the
well.
window, no. Finding Sua. I don't know how Simon got there. He's near half court when that drive starts, and next thing you know, he's got an offensive board and a putback.
He's got a motor.
Burgess, no.
Got away with a push off.
Yep. Probably could have called the loose ball foul. They don't. Westlake gets the clear.
It's really funny watching Sua. He wants the ball. He keeps looking at Anderson like, give me the ball, give me the ball.
Graydon trying to get around Taylor there.
There he is.
Baseline, Simon. Oh, just rattled out.
But you see how all those Westlake guys are just attacking the glass. And it's really making the biggest difference because Lone Peak is not looking to go box out these guys, so they're getting a free run at the rim.
You know what they say? Rebounding's about effort. If you don't believe that, watch Westlake.
100%.
Here's Hatfield.
And this could be that game where they turn that corner.
Inside, too strong. We mentioned it. They are in seemingly every game. Long 3 for Taylor. And I thought it was the lead. It's back to a 1-point game thanks to Jackson Taylor, his 3rd made 3 tonight.
He has awakened late here in the 4th quarter.
And all those coming in this second half. Ooh, that's going to be a block. That's one of those, I think it's a 50-50. That could have been a charge. I'm not saying it should have been, right? But that's one where An offensive player, I thought, dips a little bit.
Yep.
I don't have a problem with the block, but.
And that's where the official does a good job, is he doesn't call it right away. He kind of processes a little bit.
That corner three won't go, and the Westlake offense.
Watch Taylor here.
Drying up. Kramer, little spin move in the paint. No. Chamberlain to the floor.
Somebody's open.
Baseline, Mitchell, reverse. Wow. There's your Lone Peak lead. 8 for Enoch Mitchell tonight.
Oh,
Anderson.
That's offensive.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. That's a great job by Taylor.
And Anderson's kind of been getting away with initiating the contact. The difference was that he fully extended that left arm.
You could see that whole arm come up. That's a real easy call as a 30-second timeout taken here by Lone Peak. We'll step aside. We got a great finish coming up when we come back. Lone Peak basketball. 1 point lead. I think it's the first Lone Peak lead since early in the second quarter, Hector.
I think you're right. I think they've gotten close, but they haven't been able to get on top. But we'll see what they do here after the timeout. Mitchell,
boy, that's a tough pull-up. Fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line. And here's the thing, we did not mention this earlier. Lone Peak as a team, Hector, 76% from the line. You don't want to send them to the free throw line when you're in a situation in these final 2 minutes, any foul, that's where they go.
Well, we'll see if they can live up to that here right now, because they're going to have to.
They are.
They're in the bonus the rest of the way.
Enoch Mitchell stepping to the free throw line here. That was the 4th foul on Graydon Anderson. So number 4 on Graydon and 4 on Sua for Westlake. And Mitchell. Ooh, just left it short. Loose ball. Wow. Anderson.
He had to call the foul.
It's one where there's not a lot of contact there, but it's so disruptive you can't have the turnover due to the contact, right?
And the reason that hurts Lone Peak as well is because now the next one puts them in the bonus.
That's right.
I'd look for Jace Adams here to kind of be assertive.
We haven't called Jace's name much in the second half. Had 10 of the break, hasn't scored here in the second half.
I mean, when you have Sua kind of going off.
Right.
But look for him to get a big bucket here late.
This is him, Jace. Trying to skip across.
Idea.
Good hands there by Mitchell.
And Kramer's a good defender too. I mean, he's having a hard time shaking him. It's understandable.
Again, Lone Peak not full squad tonight. Staley hasn't played. Burgess has been playing through pain. As that shot up and under won't go. Rebounded by Mitchell. So a lot of guys get minutes that we haven't seen get a lot of minutes in the rotation for Lone Peak.
Yep, and Mitchell's playing really well.
He is. Kramer down the lane, and that is called before the shot, so they wave that off. There'll be free throws here for Kramer. Is this foul on Adams?
That was kind of borderline.
Yeah.
Did he take that step?
The rule is, do you know the rule in high school basketball? The language?
I think it's if you're making a move to the basket while you get hit, isn't it?
In the rule book, they have to be in their habitual shooting motion. So every player has to log their habit, submit that so we can understand the habitual shooting motion so we know when it's on a shot or not. That's the language in the rule book, and you wonder why it's hard to be an official.
Half the people in the gym do not know how to spell habitual.
Oh, well, like habit, first free throw made. It's a 3-point ball game and a timeout taken. We'll be back.
Every day we have a choice. To sit and wait, or get up and go. How do you get up and go?
Big offensive nights tonight. Thomas Kramer to the line here, trying to make it a 2-possession game inside of 90 seconds to go. 18 tonight for Kramer, 23 for Burgess, 9 for Mitchell, 9 for Taylor. That's been the majority of the scoring for Lone Peak.
It really feels like Burgess did a lot of his damage in the first quarter, second quarter.
And Kramer hits them both. It is a 2-possession lead for the Knights on the road.
Run and jump here. Ooh.
Splitting it. Now sending out.
Good
3.
finds.
Won't go for Anderson. Sua with the board. And a dual possession here. The Arrow will keep it.
Anderson had a good look there. I think Adams could have gone up and scored, but he made the right play. Anderson was wide open.
Talk about Westlake. Their offense found itself this fourth quarter. They haven't been able to have the same proficiency. It's been a 17-9 fourth quarter advantage for Lone Peak. Here's Sua.
And the difference is those 2 threes from Taylor.
Offensive board. Anderson going up, denied by Burgess. Another block for the big man. Mitchell denied on the other end.
Sneaky little stare down there. I like it.
And another timeout taken here by Lone Peak. Full timeout for the Knights. 40 seconds left when we come back. 40 seconds left. Lone Peak basketball leading by 4. Westlake needing a stop.
I try to see if I get a charge drawn here on a drive.
Westlake being very aggressive on that help. 15 on the shot clock. They give that foul there. And so it will be Enoch Mitchell to the free throw line here for the Knights.
I think he hit his last 2 as well.
Mitchell at the line to try 2.
First one for Mitchell, good.
First for third, number 3, Mitchell will try 1 more.
Makes them both. Boy, confidence shown at the line by the junior Enoch Mitchell, who's having himself a night unofficially with 11, and 7 of those coming in the fourth, including 2 to push it to a 6-point lead and a timeout taken. Welcome back. Westlake in need of points and quickly. Sua. Got to take that. That's a tough shot. Off the mark. Cleared by Mitchell. And the foul given. And the Lone Peak Knights look like it might be trouble. What a fourth quarter for Lone Peak. As unofficially, Hector, this is nuts. 19-9 fourth quarter for Lone Peak.
Westlake just went cold a little bit. And Lone Peak was able to find the wide open guys, whether it was Taylor or Mitchell's hustle plays, or Kramer going to the rim.
When we talk about not having a full lineup tonight and guys stepping up, Enoch has been one of those as he rattles in the first. And you want to know how big this game is. Looking like Skyward right now trailing American Fork in that second half. That could leap Lone Peak up to a tie for third place in this region pending other action as Mitchell makes them both. There's the final seconds ticking away here. Another one slipping through the fingers of Westlake late. As Lone Peak to the road, and the Knights gonna pick up a win with 2 seconds to go. We'll go down and take 2 more free throws here with Kramer.
I can see how Anderson's a little frustrated there. It's almost like you could see it slip through your hands.
Yeah.
And even when Lone Peak took the lead, it still seemed like the crowd was going to will Westlake to pull this one out.
And here's the thing. We talked about these 2 teams. You don't want to face them. Like even this Westlake team, they are so much better than their record. I mean, you see the record, it's like they have 4 wins on the year, and that seems crazy. And you watch them, you're like, that is crazy because they are a really good team. And everyone making the playoffs, it's like, look, this is not going to be an easy out in 6A.
And this is what these teams in this region have always had a leg up on everybody else, is that every night is a battle. Think of it as like the SEC of basketball here in Utah. And so when the lowest team in this region goes and plays a top team, they don't care. They're going to give you all you can handle.
And much like the SEC in college football, multiple teams from this region will qualify for the state playoff, as that heave won't go, and that'll do it. 70-61, your final score. Hector, your final thoughts and a selection of a player of the game.
I think that Lone Peak just picked up a gritty win. It might not seem like it because Westlake is 0-for in region, but with us here watching it, Westlake's tough. I like what Simon Sue is bringing to this Westlake team. Anderson is playing well. Jace Adams, he's going to have a better second half and in games to come. But at the end of the day, I think that Chamberlain Burgess just did enough. And even though he wasn't the kid scoring, his presence in the paint and those late rebounds really made the difference. And when you don't have a lot of height like Westlake, you got a 6'10" guy with a 6'10" plus wingspan out there, it just makes it tough.
Had a grit through injury. You could tell he was uncomfortable that entire second half. Finished unofficially with 23 points, at least 5 blocks, a number of rebounds. Chamberlain Burgess, huge tonight for Lone Peak in the big road win, as Lone Peak will move up to 3rd place in this region. Great ball game tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Lone Peak 70-61, your final. For Vince Francis, Hector Marquez, my name is Dane Stewart, and a reminder, we'll have every Lone Peak game for you right here on the Rewind Sports Network. Come join us next week when they take on Pleasant Grove. You'll be able to catch it only on KSLSports.com. Good night, everybody.